We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is the ass kicking beer bread with the habanero packet included in here. It is 1 pound. It's pretty dusty. I don't know if you can see the dust here, but how it is sewn shut here. I don't know if you are supposed to be able to pull this loose or how this goes exactly. We'll figure it out when we get around to making it up, but let's just take a look here. So this is something, I thought it was a really fun thing to do because there's nothing better than some nice warm bread out of the oven. And I just stumbled across this. Ass Kickin has come out with a lot of cool new stuff lately. Some of which is on the channel, some of which will be coming up on the channel. Stay tuned for all of that. So I do intend to get to most of it, at least the newer stuff that I wasn't aware of before. But I've done most of their popcorns. There's quite a few things from them actually. I think I've done probably two dozen-ish different products from them. But so the itty bitty packet of habanero pepper should be treated with respect. We'll see how hot it is. I might actually add some of that pepper powder that I have from, I don't know if you guys watched it, but I did a Japan crate, spicy crate thing over the Thanksgiving 2023. And in there was just a number of different items. One of them was this pepper powder from Japan, and so we'll see about this habanero powder. But the idea here is we get 12 ounces of your favorite beer, the bag of this and the habanero, and then we dump it all together and mix it up well, and then we put it in a lightly greased loaf pan, which I don't have in front of me here, but we do have done, and bake in 350 degrees until 50 to 60 minutes. We've got watch the vapors. Oh, here's if you put the entire packet, it's kick your ass hot. Cute. Okay, so we don't touch your eyes. Yes, don't do that. Also, be careful with your genitals. I'll just tell you that. There will be some. You see, everything is in here already. There will be some, of course, gassing out of the habanero. Once that 50 minutes is up. So we'll. I'm not sure I'm going to do this, but this is going to be a lot of fun because I'm actually just going to do everything on camera. Let's get some stuff and let's open it up and kind of get this process going here. Okay, so you can see we've got scissors, bottle opener, a bottle of this London Pride. So I wanted to go with an amber because a really good amber is just, I think, really ideal for bread. I don't, some of them you have a really strong hoppy flavor to it. The other one I was thinking of was a stout, which, some people will say is damn near a bread in a can itself. But this is one of the best ambers I think I've ever had. Fantastic beer. So that's what will go in here. Okay, I decided to go with a little bit more overhead, so hopefully we'll be able to see more what's going on here. I might have greased this. Yeah, there's still grease on the side of it. We're fine. Let's try cutting this off and seeing if we can pull it. It's a pretty bag. I don't want to cut it, but Seems like this is going to be a really lengthy video otherwise, so let's just do that. Let's see what we have in here. Okay. Okay, so there is the habanero. We're going to taste this here in a minute. Here is, it's very dusty, but I don't understand why this bag's so dusty. But I want to be able to show you guys everything. So there's the mix, and here's the habanero. There is something in there, I can smell it, some sort of pepper powder, but here's what we're going to do is we'll just lick our finger. Alright, so we're going to throw the whole thing in there. I'm trying to decide if I want to. So I don't think it's going to be crazy hot. Let's add a little bit. Here it is, the S&B stuff. We'll just sprinkle some of that in there. Alright. Okay. Now for the beer. Again, if you like ambers and you can come across this one, it is a fantastic brew. Alright. And we'll just try to whisk it up here. I don't know if, I'm not sure that, this might have been the wrong thing to pick. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe, huh? Maybe don't use a whisk. I thought it was going to be a little bit runnier than this. Very clearly the answer to that is no. Well, actually it falls out pretty easily though. Oh, it smells so good. Yeah, I think we'll be alright with the... Just want to make sure it's all coated, there's no dry spots. Okay. Oh. That worked pretty well. I forgot to get me a scraper though. Okay, get off. Right. Want all that delicious goodness in there. Okay, here we go with our pre-greased pan. You guys can see him. Tilt it up a little bit so you can. We're scraping it all out. Don't want to leave any of that goodness in the pan, in the bowl here. And we'll smooth it out here in a second. Very interesting color to this. Obviously, you can see there's a lot of pepper powder in it. And yes, definitely, we're going to see how this comes out. Comes out of the oven. We're going to try a few different things, taste-wise on it. Okay, I think that's about as good as we're going to get here, so... Okay. Alright. Let's try to level it out a little bit. I assume that's what you do if you're a baker, I don't know. See if we can get some prettiness going on here. Very sticky, as you can see. It smells so good though. Smells just like the that wonderful, wonderful beer. Okay, so we got the loaf pan loaded. And as you can see, we are at 350. So we're going to open up the old oven. I got a sheet underneath it just in case. And we'll slap the timer on for 50 minutes and we'll come back and check it. Okay, so here we are at 50 minutes and that's what it looks like there. Let's get a closer look. I can't get too close with the camera so I don't fry it. See, it's a little bit light. It's supposed to be crusty brown on top. It definitely is crusty. But it's not, you know, I may as well just call it here. It seems like it's pretty done. So we're just gonna let it sit on the stovetop for a couple minutes here and cool itself off, and then we will get to trying it out. All right, so here's what it looks like. It's still steaming out of the pan. Hopefully it's cool enough to handle. And let's just get into it. Here's what it looks like. Very strong pepper smell right now. All right. Let's start with Bluebonnet. I prefer real butter, but I don't have any. I don't use butter flavoring fast enough, and when I get butter, it just goes bad. So we'll try this here, just with Bluebonnet. Interesting. That's a bit of an odd texture. I don't know quite what to make of this. It is good, but I expected more of a sort of a white bread flavor to it when it came out. This is, I would say this is closer to like a cornbread. What's in it? There is not cornbread in it. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about this. It's interesting. Not bad. It does seem like it gives it a little bit of moisture that it needs. It doesn't seem dry per se, but it seems kind of crumbly like a cornbread. Maybe I need to get a fork for this. All right, this one we're gonna try. Get it steaming. I've got some of this left. This is from Silk City, their hot syrup. I don't know if this video is posted by the time you see this. It should be, but this is a sort of a maple syrupy sort of a thing here. See, it's very, 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 very watery though. All right, let's try that. So heat, I will say, even with me adding in some additional powder, it's still pretty much on the low side. If I ever do make cornbread though, it is good to know that powder is going to work well in it. That's quite nice. The texture is just a bit odd on this. And you know, one of the suggestions, so they said here to pair it with butter. No, I already did Bluebonnet, close enough. honey, syrup, or with ass kickin' chili. Well, ass kickin' chili, the mix, I won't be doing because it has onions in it. But we have tried it here with the syrup, this hot syrup. I assume they meant maple, but I really like the idea of this. I'm not getting as much of the amber flavor. I get little hints of it here and there. Not as much as I would have expected. Okay. And last but not least, I've got this, the Manuka Doctor hot and spicy honeys, hot honey I happen to have open at the time. I'll give that a whack next. Definitely got a good bit of a crust to it here. Alright, let's try the honey. This is quite a good, I really have been enjoying this honey a lot. Again, there should be a review for this. I don't know if it'll be up by the time you see this. Hopefully both of these will be. So you can check out the reviews for this stuff as well. Throw it all in the frame, why don't we? No, I think I like the syrup better, actually. I do like it with the honey, but it works better with the syrup and I think with the butter a little bit. Or the margarine, rather. It's nice. This is the way to go, though. Maple works wonderfully with this. I don't know why I'm holding this bag. But yes, this would be tremendous with chili. I almost feel like you could have... See, the bread isn't not stiff enough to be able to do it, but I was always... Maybe you could have a chili bread sandwich. Well, I will say this, that I think including the entire habanero powder packet in there is going to give you a really nice flavor. I don't think it's going to deliver a lot of heat, though. Again, I added in some of the S&B powdered pepper and even on top of the packet, and I'll give it a legit one. I mean, I've had about a third of the loaf. I'll give it a legit one. I guess I should try it solo. I haven't done that yet. I think amber works pretty well with this. I'm almost tempted to try it with a stout, though. I think that'll be interesting. All right. Can we persuade you to do a really thin slice so I can try it here without any accoutrement? That's about as thin as I'm going to get, I guess. Okay. And I don't make baked bread a lot, so I don't know if the consistency of what I put in the pan is normal or not. there's some nice red chunks of the red pepper in there. It's a really interesting looking bread. Yeah. So these things, the amber is very subtle in there. It is nice though. You can get little bits of it here and there. It's a fairly moist bread. I was a little bit worried about that. I think it could have been a little bit moister. But I don't know anything about making bread. So maybe pouring like a pint in there as opposed to a 12 ounce. Yeah, as opposed to a 12-ounce container. That could be a problem maybe. I don't know. Good flavor. Really good flavor though. I just thought this was a really neat idea. To kind of have a... How many pepper breads do we have? Pretty much just what Ass Kickin is doing. And, you know, a lot of their stuff seems novelty and gimmicky and stuff like that. But I'll tell you, that this is... I think it's pretty inventive. I think they come up with some really cool stuff a lot of the time. I would include this in that as well. All right, so... It's better so you can see the inside. Go with that. So, here's the downside to this. I think this is really fun. I don't know that I would do it a lot. Because I want to say this is like $10 to get this. Something like that. I do think it's a lot of fun though. And I think making a chili around it is kind of a cool thing. But, here's the big but. Just like their chili fixins, I don't buy any chili fixins that are pre-prepared because I just make it myself, right? I just tailor it to me. And it's a lot less expensive. And I feel like you could actually make this and tailor it to your heat and everything. I mean, the packaging is fantastic. It's a very, very cool package. But I feel like you could also make this yourself, probably for less money. So, but I think it's a really cool idea. Just like out of the box, there you go. And you can play around. You can fluctuate a little bit depending on what, well, if you do like me and add more pepper powder to it, or you play around with some of the different flavored beers. Pilsner, I think, would have added maybe a bit more of a hoppiness I really didn't want. I really wanted a sort of nice, warm, earthy amber. Some complexity of notes there. And that's a great amber. Like I said, that Fuller London Pride, fantastic. But I think like a nut brown ale would be really interesting here. I think you could have a lot of fun with the stout as well. So definitely there could be something to that, especially if you like bread. I'm not a big bread guy. I'm not a big carb guy in general. I don't understand why there's so much stuff actually in this bag. I think this is a really neat bag, though. This is cool packaging. You know, and I think that's the idea with this, right? Is that you're going to give it as a gift kind of a thing. I don't think this is the thing that you would probably be doing regularly, but it's very, very cool to have a sort of a chili head where you can have a pepper bread. You know, and I think this might be something that, you know, maybe I keep kicking around the idea of doing some more cooking. Or more cooking than I do now, I guess, on the channel, and maybe I'll whack in a hotter than normal cornbread. That could be something that we do maybe in the summer. We'll pair it up with some barbecue or something. I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned, I guess, for that. But for this one. Ass Kickin beer bread. This I think is fun to do once. It's a good thing to just kick around. Very nice, out of the box. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Here you go. This is a very nice habanero sort of pepper beer bread. Everything's measured out. It's just you dump the beer. You saw it. You saw the entire process in this video. So I don't know how you would make that any simpler than that. I think they did a great job with that. Flavor wise, it's excellent. I have no issues at all with it flavor wise. It doesn't look pretty. Like, this is not a pretty looking loaf of bread or anything. But as far as flavor, quite good. Quite good. I think this is something you might get actually if you tried to put a cornbread in a in a loaf pan like that. But presentation aside, I'm not a baker, clearly. But presentation aside, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing this. Heat wise, like I said, I'll give it a legit 1, but that is with me adding extra pepper powder to it. So I don't know if you're looking for this for heat, that probably won't be there. Maybe more so for normies, but definitely not for chili heads. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing this. I had a blast. This was a really cool thing. So for that respect, definitely a win in my book, and we'll just leave it there. So there it is, the ass kicking beer bread. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.